to Energize Your Passion, the place where we talk about real life, real growth, and real moments that shape who we're becoming. I'm your host, Sunshine, and I'm so glad you're here with me as we step into a brand new year together. Happy New Year, my beautiful people. Welcome to 2026. There is something powerful about turning the page on a calendar. It's not magic, but it does open a door that whispers, you can begin again. And today I want to talk about something that doesn't always get enough attention when a new year starts. You. That's right, you heard me. You. Not the version of you that's always showing up for everyone else. Not the one holding it all together. Not the one pushing through exhaustion. Because someone needs you. I'm talking about the real you. The one with dreams, limits, needs, and a heart that deserves care. This episode is called Happy New Year 2026, a time to put you first. And before we go any further, let me say this clearly. Putting yourself first does not make you selfish. It makes you honest. It makes you healthy. And it makes everything else in your life more sustainable. Today's episode is broken into 5 segments. We're going to move gently, reflect honestly, and build forward together. No pressure, no rules, just a conversation that reminds you that your life matters right now, not someday. Take a breath, settle in. Let's begin. Segment 1, letting go of the year you lived. Hey, my Energize Your Passion family. Sunshine here, sending you big smiles, open arms, and all the good energy as we step into this moment together. Before we talk about putting yourself first in 2026, we need to slow down and honor what you've just lived through. Because every year leaves fingerprints on us. Some are light and joyful, others are heavier, and many are invisible to everyone else but you. So often, we rush straight into a new year carrying emotional bags we never unpacked. We say, it's fine, or I'm over it, when deep down, we're still tired, still processing, still holding things together. Letting go doesn't mean erasing the past. It means choosing what you no longer need to carry forward. Think about 2025 for a moment. Not just the highlights or the hard parts, but the quiet moments in between. The times you showed up even when you didn't feel strong. The moments you adjusted, adapted, and stayed silent to keep things moving. There's a lot of strength in survival, but there's also exhaustion that comes with it. Putting yourself first starts with permission. Permission to acknowledge the disappointment that lingered, the effort no one applauded, the version of you that did their best with what you had. You don't need to label last year as good or bad. You only need to be honest about how it affected you. Letting go can look simple, but it's deeply personal. It might mean releasing resentment you've been carrying quietly. It might mean forgiving yourself for choices you made while you were learning. Or it might mean accepting that something ended, changed, or didn't turn out the way you hoped. Here's something I want you to hear clearly. You are not behind because last year was heavy. You are human. When you consciously let go, you create space. Space for rest, space for clarity, space for a new way of moving through your life. And sometimes letting go isn't about action. Sometimes it's about allowing yourself to stop replaying moments that already taught you what they needed to teach. As we stand at the doorway of 2026, imagine setting down what no longer fits your life, not angrily, not dramatically, just gently. Now that we've talked about releasing what weighed you down, let's shift our focus inward and reconnect with the parts of you that may have been quiet for a while. Now that we've talked about releasing what weighed you down, let's talk about something just as important, remembering who you are underneath it all. Segment 2, reconnecting with what matters to you. Hey, beautiful souls, sunshine back with you. I hope you're settling into this conversation with an open heart. Once you begin letting go of what no longer serves you, something interesting happens. You start to hear yourself again. Your thoughts become clearer. Your feelings feel closer to the surface. And that's where reconnection begins. Reconnecting with what matters to you doesn't require a major life overhaul. It requires attention. Life has a way of pulling us into routines that revolve around responsibility. Over time, what we love can slowly turn into what we manage. And before we realize it, we're living days that look full but feel empty. Putting yourself first in 2026 means asking yourself different questions. Not what should I be doing, but what feels meaningful to me right now. Meaning changes as we grow. What mattered to you 5 years ago might not hold the same weight today. And that's not a loss, that's growth. You might reconnect with joy through simple things. 1. Quiet moments without distraction. 2. Creativity without expectation. 3. Conversations that feel honest. And 4. Time that isn't rushed or explained. This isn't about productivity, it's about presence. When you reconnect with what matters, you stop chasing validation. You begin honoring alignment. Try checking in with yourself this way. What drains my energy? What restores it? Where do I feel most like myself? Your answers are clues. They point you towards a life that feels more like home. Putting yourself first doesn't mean ignoring others. It means including yourself in your own life. As you reconnect, you may notice resistance, habits that no longer fit, roles you've outgrown, expectations that feel outdated. That awareness is not a problem, it's information. Let yourself be curious instead of critical. This is not about judgment, it's about discovery. Once you know what matters to you, the next step is learning how to protect it. And that brings us to boundaries. Once you know what matters to you, the next step is protecting it. And that means learning how to create space through boundaries. Segment 3, boundaries are a form of self-respect. Welcome back, my Energize Your Passion family. Sunshine here, and this is an important conversation. Boundaries often get a bad reputation. Yes, they do. They're seen as cold and distancing, when in reality, they're an act of care. A boundary is simply a clear statement of what you can and cannot give without harming yourself. Many of us were taught to push past our limits, to say yes even when we're exhausted, to keep the peace at our own expense. Over time, that pattern creates resentment, not because we're unkind, but because we're depleted. Putting yourself first means recognizing that your energy is valuable. Boundaries can be quiet. They don't need announcements or explanations. Sometimes they show up as pauses, delayed responses, or choosing rest over obligation. You might notice discomfort when you start setting boundaries. That doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. It means you're doing something new. Here's the truth. People who benefit from lack of boundaries may resist your growth. That resistance is not your responsibility. Healthy boundaries allow relationships to exist without resentment. They create honesty where there used to be obligations. Start small. Number one, say no once without over explaining. Number two, protect your time. And number three, notice where you feel drained after interactions. Boundaries are a way of honoring your capacity. They help you show up more fully where it matters. When you respect your limits, you teach others how to respect them too. Now that we've talked about protecting your energy, let's talk about trusting the pace of your own journey. Now that we've talked about limits, let's talk about timing. Because putting yourself first also means trusting your own pace. Segment 4, Trusting Your Timing in 2026. Hey friends, Sunshine here, and I want you to breathe into this moment with me. There is so much pressure at the start of a new year to rush forward, to prove something, to reinvent everything overnight. But growth doesn't happen on demand. It happens through consistency, patience, and self-trust. Putting yourself first means honoring your own rhythm instead of comparing your progress to someone else's highlight reel. Your timing is shaped by your experiences, your healing, and your readiness, not by a calendar. You are allowed to move slowly. You are allowed to pause. You are allowed to take breaks without guilt. Trusting your timing means recognizing when something isn't ready and not forcing it anyway. Ask yourself, what feels aligned right now? What feels forced? When you trust your pace, you build confidence. You stop second guessing yourself and start listening. 2026 doesn't require urgency, it requires presence. As we move into our final segment, let's bring everything together and talk about what it truly means to choose yourself moving forward. And now, as we bring everything together, let's talk about what it really means to step into 2026 with intention and self-belief. Segment 5, Choosing Yourself, a New Way Forward. Welcome back, my beautiful people. Sunshine here, and this moment matters. Let's bring it all together. This year, putting yourself first means number one, letting go of what no longer serves you. Number two, reconnecting with what matters. Number three, creating boundaries that protect your energy. And number four, trusting your timing. Choosing yourself doesn't mean walking alone. It means walking honestly. When you show up for yourself, your life feels more aligned. Your decisions feel clear. Your decisions feel clear. And your energy feels grounded. 2026 doesn't need a new version of you. It needs the real one. As we close today's episode, remember this. Putting yourself first is not a one-time decision. It's a daily choice. You deserve care. You deserve rest. You deserve joy. If this episode resonated with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Share this episode with someone who needs a little positive energy today. Leave a 5-star rating. It helps this message reach more hearts. And until next time, keep choosing yourself, keep honoring your journey, and keep living with intention. This is Sunshine, and you have been listening to Energize Your Passion.